Hello everyone, welcome to Answer Outdoors. I'm Justin Hunnell, and thank you for allowing me to fuel your outdoor passion. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Answer Outdoors. Just going to give you a quick rundown on my saddle hunting system. It doesn't look like a system right now, it's just spread and strewn about this table. But really when we break it down, I've become pretty particular with my gear, and I'll show you kind of what goes into it. And how I run this, just quickly from here in the compound down here. But I'll give you a clue as to the way I set this up, the way I hang, the way I hunt, whether I'm a sitter, whether I'm a leaner. A couple things, if you're familiar with saddle hunting, you'll know those terms. If you're not familiar with saddle hunting, I'll give quick explanation to all of this. So as we look at it right now, let's get into the most important piece of the puzzle. And that's going to be the saddle. So, full disclosure, I am an ambassador for Trophyline tree saddles. Trophyline's going to come forward with a bunch of new stuff this year, 2020. But last year in 2019, they unveiled multiple saddles. So this particular saddle is the one I got initially. It's the Ambush Light. They make the Ambush Pro as well. So this saddle comes with everything you see here. So it is built like a tank. This thing is bomb-proof. It's probably overbuilt, to be honest, but it's way better than how I started, which was a DIY sit drag saddle. Like a lot of people. If you're not familiar with the sit drag saddle, there's a great forum, saddlehunter.com. A lot of us in the saddle community spend our time over there, and you'll hear it referred to 1,000 different times. But the sit drag was basically like a swing set seat that you added some straps to, and you hung from a tree 30 feet in the air or whatever. It was not the most optimum way to do this. Well, originally, Trophyline came out back in the 60s, and was way ahead of its time. So when I worked big box retail, like 2000 so through 2010, I worked in sporting goods stores. Trophyline was a presence there, but it really takes guys like me and girls like you and people who know about this stuff to really explain it and to sell it. And that's kind of where they hit their snag, but never went away. So last year, Trophyline came back out with this originally, and it is a total package. It's everything you actually need, with the exception of the way to stand on the tree to get into saddle hunting. So you need a climbing method, and you need a way to stand on the tree, and then your saddle. So with this, obviously, there's molly loops here. It came with this sack, which I will show you what I use it for. And it comes with a zip pouch here. The pouch also has elastic if you wanted to put, a wind checker or something like that. Sometimes I will throw my milkweed container in there. It also comes with 2 overbuilt loops here. And that is for your lineman's belt. You can see one here on this side, and one that I have my Black Diamond carabiner attached to on this side. So, actually, I'm running this. I just threw this back together after not using it for a while. This Black Diamond gets snapped into that loop there. People are going to freak out because I didn't do it correctly. Really, I want the gate, which is this piece, facing up. I want my tension to be on the longest arm of that. But that pouch that I initially mentioned, which I have positioned lower, there's 2 sets of molly straps. I position it lower, just it's comfort level to reach down. I don't have to reach as high. In that pouch, what I carry, and this comes with the saddle as well, is my lineman belt. This is a Prusik knot here to another Black Diamond carabiner. These are excellent climbing carabiners, also available on trophyline.com. These particular carabiners and lineman harness come with the Trophyline tree saddle kit. What's nice is this is a quality carabiner. I know who makes it. This is real world climbing gear. People use this to climb Everest, all that good stuff. I'm using it, 20, 30 feet up in a tree, and I trust it. So they're partnered up. That is what comes with all of Trophyline's saddle setups, and you can order them separately. But I put that in that pouch, and it never leaves that pouch. Once I'm done climbing the tree, it's a comfortable spot for me. It's up and away. I can tuck it right back in, cinch it tight. Throw that right on the floor for now. A lot of times what I will do is I will take the carabiner off as well because I don't like the sound that all this makes. And speaking of that, this does have metal buckles. So this is your waist strap. This will cinch around your waist. There's a metal buckle here. I find once it's tight, you don't get a whole lot of sound out of this. I tend to be fairly retentive on sound. None of my stuff has stealth strips now because I'm redoing a lot of the gear, but a lot of it either has hockey tape or stealth strips on it. But I cinch that tight and that kind of stays where it is. And the same thing, we have a web tether here on this, or a web bridge, excuse me, the tether's the other piece. This is your bridge, this is the part you hang from. And with that, it's adjustable here with a metal buckle. I tend to stay away from metal. I will rewrap all this stuff. I'm kind of in my postseason, preseason throes of prep, tear down, all that good stuff. So that's kind of the only two downsides I've seen to this particular saddle. Now, there's remedies for that coming out. But this saddle was meant to fit a price point. So you get all of this for a very reasonable price. And you can check on trophyline.com to check out current pricing for each individual piece as well. So in this big pouch here, which does come off, and I have that still high on the mole straps, is my tether. So this originally came with a Prusik knot, just like the lineman did, and I added a Ropeman 1 to it. You have to use a Ropeman 1, you cannot use a Ropeman 2. Any of your tether lines are going to be normally at least 10 millimeter, if not 11 or 12, and that's what the Ropeman 1 is rated for. It's a tension release, basically, so I can slide it, but as soon as I lock it down, I can't pull it anywhere. One safety note, you're going to want to make sure you have a safety knot at the end of all of your ropes, because if I were to loosen this, pull it, and have tension on it, this guy can come all the way off of this end without any stop. There's no friction if I'm pulling this open. So you just open this gate here and it'll slide freely. This is also a Black Diamond carabiner. This also came with the Trophyline kit. I have no reason to change these. They're awesome. So I also like that, for me, again, systems. I'm all about systems. My lineman belt, if I were to ever look at them and get confused, every carabiner on my lineman belt has a green gate on it. Every carabiner and part of my tether has an orange part on it. It's color coding, it's simple, an idiot can figure it out. So this is physically the part that is going to wrap around the tree. I'm going to send it through like this. Some guys will double it up, some guys won't. It's going to hang above the tree like such. And my thing is, I like to have my tether not about even with my eyes. And then the Ropeman and carabiner will attach to my bridge, which will hang here. I'll throw that on in a minute and show you. And when I do that, I like a fairly tight bridge. I like to keep my bridge fairly tight. I don't get a lot of hip pinch. I've been hunting out of the saddle for a long time, so you'll hear the term saddle shape. Maybe the first hunt or two of the season, I'll notice a little more wear than what I'm used to. But for right now, hey, end of the season, I've been in the saddle quite a bit. I'm just in the shape to sit in this thing all day. It's super comfortable for me. This one tends to be a little bit heavier just in overall packaging. So when you see it on the website, it'll say it's heavier than, say, some of the competitors, and the competitors make great products. So you're going to have Arrow Hunter and you're going to have the tethered stuff. Those are the main competitors. It's a big field, right? There's a lot of space there. But the thing is, that is as a system. This is actually very light in and of itself, although overbuilt. Everything's just bomb-proof. Again, I trust my life 30 feet in a tree with this thing. You know, I'm not going to tell you I'll never hunt out of a stand again. That would be ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you that 9 times out of 10 for my style of hunting, this is where it's at. I tend to be public land, and by tend to, I mean I am all public land. I tend to get farther back than most folks. That's like the thing now. It's just the case. I've always hunted that way. And, you know, I like to get in quietly and get up a tree. Climbers are just too bulky, too loud, too much for me, and they're too heavy. You know, I have a tough time bringing a 30-pound stand in the woods or a 20-pound stand in the woods when I can climb a tree for, you know, sub 15 pounds and get up and be comfortable all day. So I'm going to set this down, and we're going to go into essentially my climbing method. So to get up the tree, you might ask, what are you using? Well, you know, I do have something similar to a wild edge step that some of you guys have used, I'm sure. And I've used screw-in steps on non-public land and private land. But I have found climbing sticks are my way to go. Now, these are cut-down Hawk Heliums. I carry 4. I tend to use 3. I carry that 4th just in case. A lot of times, if I know where I'm going, that 4th one will stay right in the old RAV4. So I have right here modified, so I have a Versa button basically, Eastern Outdoors, and also the daisy chain. I use a tension daisy chain, so this is double stitched. It's rated for climbing. I wrap this guy around the tree, and it goes on the other side. And then I sink this down tight. You can see I have a little orange paracord. That is so I can hang these guys from the Molly loops on my saddle. And when I do that, I'm using some Night Eyes carabiners that I'll show you, or S-beaners. And this is just a shorter version. It is 20-inch. I know that they came out with short ones this past ATA, and everybody loved that idea because we've been building them short for years now, or modifying them short. It's just an easier way for me, not weight-wise, I don't care about the weight, it's to get through the woods. They're not snagging on things, they fit inside a pack or no higher than my head. So a lot of times that's the big question is, do these things fit higher than your head? Are they snagging on stuff as you're climbing through? A lot of places I go have no trails. It's a piece of elastic, and that's what holds this as I wrap it up. So I'll wrap this around how many ever times and loop that elastic on. But we're not going to do that right now because that would be the least fun thing we could do, right? All right, so once we're up the tree, we have to stand in the tree. And I have two ways that I do that. Both ways work kind of differently for everybody. So this is a platform. This is a DIY platform. Never mind that beaner on there, I just didn't want to lose it. But this is a tension strap, so a cam buckle, if you will. So there's a boat buckle, goes around the tree, hooks up to this side here, and then I pull it tight. As I pull it tight, I want to make sure it's above my platform height, and then I cam this platform down. It'll sink this whole apparatus, which is everything's home built, into the tree. Now, this is a Lone Wolf seat. I got this off Optics Planet. I coated it with Flex Seal, and then I painted over that. So it's pretty soft to the touch. And it's, cast aluminum, so it's already quieter than a tubular aluminum. Again, these are off Dano's website. I'll link that below. And so is that Versa button. Now, this was my own mistake, and I did this. I should have moved this Versa button up a 1/4 inch, but when I was testing, this seemed like the best spot. And this Versa button will then fit through one of these holes, but I had to slightly grind down the bottom side of it just to get that clearance. So this is adjustable platform for lean, so you can adjust it in and out for lean angle. Once it's cammed in place, I personally like to take a Lone Wolf strap and run it over this Versa button and then have double straps. For me, it just helps with the side-to-side movement, especially if I'm out on the edges. You know, there's definitely other models out there for sale that kind of help with that problem, but when I built this, they didn't exist, so this is what I rolled with. You know, I hunt out of this for hours and hours and hours on end. I tend to be a leaner, meaning I don't put my knees against the tree very much. I tend to stand and lean against my tether and my bridge. So I spend a lot of time at the edges of the platform. You can see that most of the wear here is on those edges, and very little time on the center. I do wear knee pads. I broke my pair of knee pads I had. I don't have them on the table here, but I do wear knee pads because there are times that I will coil up and lean against a tree with my knee pads right there. So from there, you know, the other way I might choose, and this is if I'm really trying to go light, is these are Bowman Outdoors Silent Approach steps. This is a kit. It is a Ring of Steps kit. The Ring of Steps is the other predominant way to hunt out of a saddle. You got to put your feet somewhere, right? So I do have some hockey tape wrapped to the side of this that would touch the tree, and it comes with this overbuilt ratchet strap here, and I will take these and run 5 of them. It comes with 6. I don't run 6. I tend to not be able to position one far enough down this buckle for me to run 6 in the size trees I generally end up in, so I run 5, and I have run 4 before. The other thing I will do on occasion, if I know it's going to be an all-day sit and I'm getting in there plenty early enough and I'm not as worried about noise, is I will take that platform, put it in the tree, and then buckle it tight with this ratchet strap along with 2 to 3 of these pegs, and one at steps. And when I do that, that is so I get 360 movement all the way around the tree, no problems, no issues, something to step on in every spot. And I do that when I know that, hey, I might end up with varying wind conditions, varying sun conditions as the sun, rises, sets, such like that. To shift in the tree a little bit can really save you some eye strain, and it can really put the animals in a position where you're in shade, they're in bright, their coats shine, their antlers shine, things like that. So that's really kind of the perfect all-around setup for me, is to run a couple steps and a platform. I haven't found a better way to do it, and I haven't found a way around that necessarily. So that's that. So, okay, here I am in the tree. I have my platform and or steps. I've climbed the tree with my sticks. I have my saddle on. I'm all strapped in, ready to go, and all my stuff's still in my pack, not my hands. And what am I doing? All right, so this is a basic daisy chain. This is just a webbing daisy chain. I think I got it off Amazon, to be honest with you. And what I will do is, the big guy there, again, sans the hockey tape that's normally on here. The big guy there, I leave this side open, able to pull out and move to a different spot, because I never know what size tree I'm going to end up in. So essentially what I do is I run this daisy chain, this end, with that Night Eyes S-Beaner, through, bang, around the tree, and then I move this S-Beaner up, as tight as I want it to go around the tree, put it in, and for me, that is where my pack will go. I don't carry a huge pack up on a tree. In fact, I have like a go bag inside my big bag that I will carry a lot of times and hook to that. Other than that, normally these carabiners do not live on this thing, because that's a lot of noise, first of all. But second of all, these are what I use around my saddle to hook everything to that I'm going to carry up. My platform, my hawk sticks, my anything else, anything you can think of. They're great for that, and they snap on and off easily. So I have some locking and I have some unlocking or non-locking. The locking ones tend to get my heavier gear, and it tends to be like my climbing sticks and stuff like that. The non-locking ones tend to just live someplace on my pack, and then they get hung on this so I can immediately hang stuff to get myself free, clear, ready to go. So in backwards order, this goes under the tree. This is below me that I stand on, or this guy here, or in conjunction. 3 or 4 of these guys get me up the tree, and this is what I'm in the tree with. Now, I said I would throw this on real quick, so I am going to want to do that, and I will show you guys kind of how it fits and where I let it sit on my hips. So what I do wear this into the woods generally. I do not put this on at the base of the tree. The only time I will put this on at the base of the tree is if I'm going in a long distance, a super long distance, and I plan on putting a different bottom layer or a heavier bottom layer on after I'm in the tree, or at the base of the tree. Boots as well, but I have a way around that. We'll be making a video soon on that. So essentially here, I tend to wear my saddle a little bit higher on my way in because I'm not a big guy, and it slides down. So there's my saddle, there's my bridge, and I tend to sit in it like this. Again, tether goes to here, wham, we're good. We're up in the tree, and that's how I'm hanging out. When I'm walking in the woods, a lot of guys will do this. They just tuck that bridge right up under the belt, like such, so it's not flapping around. I'm the guy that takes my deer calls, everything, tucks them inside my jacket. I hate extra flapping movement. Drives me crazy. So that's kind of the way I roll with this stuff. It is super comfortable. Again, you can wear it all day. You can sit forever in it. Check out Trophyline.com. You'll find a bunch of great information. You'll find a lot of great saddle related products, but also some other hunting stuff that they're coming out with. And we're really excited for the future here. Looking forward to really pushing this sort of envelope and making everybody who wants to be a saddle hunter have easy access to becoming a saddle hunter. It's really where it's at. The more of us there are, the better we are. Thanks, everybody.